Okay, so you guys have probably seen the amount of kind of hatred and the amount of drama that's been going on surrounding the Sameko Saba debut. There's been so many people getting angry at her model, so many people getting angry at the fact that she has merch, and there's been so much stuff going around on Twitter and stuff. It's created a very toxic environment. Now, obviously, Saba is doing absolutely fine. You know, her streams are popping off, and I think the people that like her are doing really fine as well. You know, they really enjoy the content, and it's been going pretty good. But I think the one thing that's actually kind of spawned from this is a lot more hatred towards VTubers in general. And obviously, you know, I talked about a video that I came across the other day over on Trash Taste of Ironmouse actually talking about her experiences with a lot of threats that she got a couple of months ago in a situation after she won a Game Awards show. And well, it seems like this is an issue that is further growing, especially over on TikTok. And I'll play this clip right now because even Ironmouse herself actually, you know, mentions TikTok by name.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Sometimes
because you weren't on TikTok.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, no, I don't have a TikTok.
You can see that, you know, she specifically calls out TikTok there. And obviously, as someone who uses TikTok quite a bit, unfortunately, you know, I see quite a bit of the hatred that Ironmouse gets over there. And it was pretty insane whenever a lot of this stuff was going down, especially from people like Kai Cenat's, like fans and things like that, who thought that he should have won the award. There was a lot of hatred and stuff. Now, obviously, that did get sorted out in the end. You know, Kai told his fans to be nice to her, and they ended up being a lot nicer. But it seems like this hatred is kind of built up a little bit more now that VTubers are, you know, way more in the spotlight at the moment. And obviously, one of these cases I talked about in my last video, talking about Zentreya actually getting a literally hate raid of notifications of threats and different kind of, you know, horrible things and harassment. It's been pretty terrible for Zentreya at the moment due to the fact of her being on the top of the streamer charts, or the stream charts, sorry. And well, it seems like as well, Ironmouse is still catching strays from a lot of the kind of stuff going on, because I actually pulled up this TikTok, which essentially came up on my, this literally came up on my feed, by the way, just naturally. This is a TikTok by Jaminon. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but essentially, yeah, it blew up. It's got 1.8 million views, and essentially they're talking about the model of Sameko Saba and talking about, you know, the overall kind of childlike nature of it. And I think it's a totally different kind of conversation. Now, I don't think this person is necessarily enabling the behavior that is going on in the comments that I want to talk about.
Am I the only one that's noticing
that
that some VTuber models, especially some very, very popular ones like Gargora and then the new one that she has, look eerily close to children? Like, very, very, very on the line with what a little kid would look like, except it's not a little kid because it's actually a grown woman behind said model. Yeah, I don't know. I started thinking about it, and I'm going to pick and choose my words very carefully when I describe this, because I don't want the VTuber fans to skin me alive. But, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, these models are supposed to emulate a very young girl. A girl who might not exactly be of age. Maybe she's not 18, but maybe according to the VTuber lore, she's a 2,000-year-old demon goddess who has been around the earth longer than we have. Sure, okay. I'm not really going to hate on VTubers, because if that's what you like and you're not hurting anyone, then what am I going to do? I don't care. Do what you want to do in your free time. I might not do that myself, but sure.
But yeah, essentially he just goes ahead and talks about it. I mean, you know, there's nothing really to the video, but the comments was the thing that kind of, you know, drew my attention, because the top comment wasn't even about Saba or Gorgura, the people that he's talking about in the video. They're talking about Ironmouse, and the hatred for Ironmouse still continues. And this is something that I see on TikTok quite often. This is just one of the cases that I managed to find and I managed to, you know, kind of save to show you guys, because the amount of like kind of harassment that she still faces over on TikTok and the amount of hatred she, you know, still gets over on TikTok, despite a lot of the initial big wave that happened a couple of months ago, you know, finally going away. It seems like there's still a lot of people doing it, and you can see here Ironmouse with the broken heart thing, and obviously the replies to this is pretty bad too. Obviously they're saying stuff like, for example, she acts like 1-2 gang, which again is completely, oh my god, bro. I mean, to say that Ironmouse acts like a child is completely beyond me. Honestly, I think, you know, compared to, you know, you could say Saba, for example, has some childlike like things that, you know, make her sound more childlike, which I could definitely understand. But whenever it comes to Ironmouse, I think it's totally different, because, for example, if you were to reference her, maybe her high-pitched voice, you know, obviously Ironmouse has that very iconic high-pitched voice, which a lot of people do notice whenever they first go into her stream. that isn't actually due to the fact of her trying to be more childlike, like these people want to say, is due to the fact of her illness, due to the fact of a lung infection. It's literally confirmed online in multiple interviews that she's had with people. And, you know, she had like a lung infection due to her, you know, pretty bad condition. If you don't know, she's obviously got like autoimmune disease, and you know, there's been many charity streams and things behind this that cdawg's been doing, and, you know, they've been trying to support, you know, a lot of the causes that are going behind that. And I think that, you know, kind of saying that she's acting childlike due to the fact that she has a condition is, you know, completely beyond me. And I think obviously it's so horrible that people would do that in the comment section and try to make it seem like she's this like weirdo, when in actual fact she's not. And the same goes for like the topics of discussion on stream and things. She's not one of these VTubers who pretends to be a child or pretends to, you know, do all these childlike stuff. She's just a normal person. I'm gonna be honest. Like, if you actually watched a you know, a stream every now and again, you would know that it is pretty much a normal person. Like, I mean, it's no different to watching literally anybody else. And I think people have this kind of like, I don't know, dedication to hating on Ironmouse and other people like that. It's crazy, you know. And people are saying, someone checked this dude's computer, it's like, bro, what? And people saying, are you saying that's because of her voice, because she doesn't act like a child and her voice is actually naturally like that? I said yes. Literally, I searched up Ironmouse, and the first video that pops up is she's trying to act like a cute anime girl who's goofy. Like, the thing is, you can say they're trying to act like in a certain way, but you haven't actually brought up any kind of certain evidence of, you know, what exactly made you feel that way about it. They haven't said that at all. They said she has a chibi model, which sure is, it's funny, but the other one is, and she acts like a kid. We know that. Like, she just doesn't. But she's a grown adult. Plus, sounds like an over-dramatized anime girl. Nobody actually sounds like that. Yes, they do. Again, you know, there's a lot of people with conditions, a lot of people with certain issues out there, which, you know, happen to make them sound like that. And obviously, I'm guessing this is their first time in the world or something, because, yeah, I mean, surprise, surprise, some people are different in the world, which I think these people just failed to understand. I don't know if that's just because they're, you know, young and they're TikTok users and they've never seen another adult in their life before or what. But again, it's pretty horrible that these people are kind of talking about this. You know, they said, I don't watch Ironmouse or anything, but I've searched her up, and from what the model's seen, none of them look like children. Which, again, thankfully, there's someone here. You know, this person doesn't even watch her, and they've had a quick look at it, and they've gone, see, yeah, no, it actually doesn't seem like it. Which, obviously, this is someone who's actually kind of competent in this world, which is crazy. She said she has a lot of ones. There is a chibi and a version of a chibi that isn't chibi. Like, again, you know, there's a difference between a chibi model and a child. You know, a chibi model is something completely different. There's tons of VTubers who present themselves as, like, you know, big adult, whatever you want to call it, like, that are much more, I guess, you know, safer than, you know, for example, like Saba or someone like that, you know, that are much more safer than those kind of VTubers that also have a chibi model. But you wouldn't go around saying they act like a child, because obviously they don't. You know, it's the fact that that is the style of the model. It's a style in the term of VTubers and in the term of like anime and, you know, stuff like that in general. And I think that saying just because she has a chibi model does not mean that she acts like a child. Like, bro, they're trying to clutch at any straws to kind of hate on Ironmouse. I don't get like why they do this so often. And obviously this has now gone over to Zentreya as well, as we've seen recently. You know, obviously people are obviously mainly talking about Gorgura and Saba in there. Now you can have your own opinions about that as well. I do think that, you know, there are some like childlike aspects to it, which is obviously why I don't really watch Saba. I'm not really a big you know, I'm not a watcher. You know, obviously I'll cover the news or whatever that comes out, but I'm not a watcher of Saba. You know, and I know that Hololive VTuber is supposed to generally based off person, but like a whatever. Okay, so they said Gorgura fell down. Said, yeah, good thing I only watch VTubers like Victoria, Onigiri, and Zentreya, which obviously, yeah, those are, you know, the more kind of adult themed ones. But obviously, I don't think Ironmouse is that much different. But again, obviously, thankfully, most of the other comments are talking about all of these other people and all of these other VTubers and things, and, you know, Gorgura and Sameko Saba. But I just find it kind of crazy because this this comment got 14.9 thousand likes. This is by far one of the most liked comment in the thing, and it still shows you to this day Ironmouse is still getting hate whenever it comes to TikTok, whenever it comes to Twitch, and whenever it comes to pretty much any kind of social media platform, which obviously sucks because, you know, it's been made very clear that this harassment obviously affects her. It obviously affects a lot of what she does in her fan base. And it's really, really sucks that this is still going on to this day. And now, as I said, you know, as I said in my previous video, it's now kind of crossing over to Zentreya as well, who's been facing a lot of backlash for completely no reason. You know, they've been facing so many threats, so many different, you know, forms of harassment in terms of being bombarded by notifications, you know, forcing them to end their subathon, you know, their month-long subathon, which has been going on, you know, for almost a month. It was almost finished, and they had to end it due to the fact of the amount of harassment they were getting. I mean, you know, it's just got to kind of stop, you know. I feel like, you know, this is something that's been going on for so long now, and it seems like it is starting to heat up again for absolutely no reason. There's been nothing major that has caused this to happen. There's been no major event where Ironmouse, you know, is being painted in a bad light, or Zentreya is being painted in a bad light, apart from them doing good over on Twitch, which obviously I guess some people can't handle, but at the same time, you know, it's just very childish, and it's very, you know, dumb to see that so many people were doing this towards, you know, real life people. You know, just because they're behind a VTuber model does not mean they're not an actual person behind that. And I think a lot of people kind of forget that, and that's why they feel like it's okay just to hurl out insults, speculate about things in the background, and yeah, just kind of make fun of, you know, some things about them, which I think is absolutely disgusting. But obviously, yeah, that's about what I got for this video. I just kind of wanted to share this with you guys because it was something that came up on my page, and I thought that it would be very interesting to kind of discuss and talk about, and kind of show you guys how much hatred, you know, people still get online to this day. Even if it does seem a little bit better now, it's still pretty bad for a lot of people like Ironmouse. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, go to KimSubs, use my code Kazakh, get 10% off again. They got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.